Hi, I'm Sammy S. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are good. So, today, it's Random Facts Day. Oh, yeah, I don't know. If you are a new subscriber, hi, welcome to the family. I am Sammy. Thank you so much for subscribing or checking out my channel regardless. I appreciate the time that you're taking out of your day to check out my content. So I thought I would do a little video on facts about me. These are completely random facts that if some of you know them, soz. If you don't, hi. So this is to basically give you a better idea of who I am as a person, so you get to know me better, and then yeah, you have a more broader idea of who I am as a person. So I'll start this off as I always like to do. My pronouns are she, her. If you do refer to me in the they, them pronouns, that is absolutely fine. Please drop your pronouns below so when we converse in the comment section, I know how to address you. I am trying with my channel and my platforms to normalise the conversation around pronouns, asking pronouns, and just generally talking about pronouns. So that's mine. I will, I suppose, get into the little facts. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and yeah. So my name is Sammy, I'm 30 years old. I am a Libra sun, Gemini moon, Virgo rising, which means I'm an air sign, and going off air, childhood fact number one. As a child, I used to think that I could talk to the wind. Yeah, I was a weird kid. I can't believe I just said that publicly. So yeah, as a child, I used to think that I could talk to the wind. Hey, I guess when I learned about my star sign, knowing I was an air sign, it kind of was cool. But yeah, weird child. Might as well throw myself straight in the deep end so you can all like rip me apart. It's cool. Going off star signs and stuff, I was massively into astrology during my teens. I have a book about like that thick on astrology. I find it really interesting. I love anything to do with planets as well. Like I find that side of science super interesting. Going off science, biology was my favourite subject. When I was in college, I was studying animal care and I got distinctions in every single biology test, every lesson. So yeah, with astrology, I loved everything to do with it. I loved learning all about the different signs. I am a great believer in it and that it makes people somewhat who they are. I do know that obviously nurture has a massive impact, but however, I do believe in that sort of stuff. So let me know if you're into astrology. Let me know what your star sign is. Let me know what your rising and your moon and all that good stuff is. I'd like to know. Let's do it. Now I've thrown myself completely under the bus with being a weirdo child. I was never a cool kid. I was sort of, you know, like those sort of kids in school that's kind of just in the background. I was one of those until I hit my emo phase. And then, ironically, because I'm bald now, I shaved my head not in school, but I walked into my tutor one day with a shaved head. I think I was 14. And I walked straight into my tutor and all my hair was gone. So I've been bald before. So there you go, if you didn't know that, yes, I've been bald before. So my emo hair kind of came on a little bit later. There were already girls that obviously had like the big like hair with the raccoon hair extensions in, growing shade to like 2006. I was, I suppose, late to the party because I was kind of different. I didn't have the big hair till later on. So I was bold before in school, and then when I shaved my head, like, popular kids were kind of intrigued, like I was a bit of a science project, ironically, and they just wanted to try and friend me up after that point. Don't know why. But I declined their invitation of friendship, because quite frankly, I don't do fake bitches. So yeah, that was kind of an insight into school life, I suppose, a little bit. And I kind of remained weird even after that point. We're talking like 15 years later. Wow, that makes me sound so old. Going off school, the only thing I passed in school was art, which we can now maneuver. That was so good. So yeah, I was mad into art. Mad creative kid, always painted, always was drawing as a child. I found it was my outlet. I had a rough childhood. I'm not going to go into that in this video. However, drawing was my outlet, and then painting became my outlet. I was an A-star student in art, and my art teacher hated me because by the time year 10 came around in school, I was rebellious somewhat with my shaved head and just did my own thing, and it didn't go down well. And that's kind of when I started getting a little bit ballsy. I am rubbish on an instrument. Can't play an instrument. No, that's a lie. I can play Smoke on the Water on a guitar. Yay, go me. I do actually have an acoustic guitar. I wanted to pick up guitar again and failed. So my partner now has my acoustic guitar. I did actually, talking of guitars, I did actually have a black Fender Showmaster at one point. Sold that to an ex-boyfriend. Shouldn't have done it. It was beautiful. But yeah, so my acoustic guitar, ironically, is also Fender. So I think I have a bit of a thing for Fender guitars, although I cannot play an instrument. I've always wanted to learn piano or bass. So those are two instruments specifically I would like. Or the harp. The harp, I think, is so beautiful. In one instance, I was very creative with like painting, drawing, but absolutely shit with music. Moving on to music, I am a charity promoter. I do charity gigs, so that is my thing. So although I cannot play instruments, I decided to be the other side of it. So I put charity gigs on. I am also, I guess, what you would call the founder of Hallowfest, which is where I raise money and awareness through an all-dayer that raises for male victims of domestic violence. So I believe I'm the only singular female promoter within the UK that has a all-dayer dedicated to raising money for that cause and for those men in that awful predicament. So that is my little thing that I do. It is around Halloween, hence Hallow, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I wanted to incorporate the fun of Halloween into a gig that raised money for something really serious, with keeping it in within the October month, so everybody could have a nice time but also reminded of the seriousness of the subject. So although I cannot play an instrument, I wanted to be the other side and help those who can, and also help the scene. And I love small gigs. Obviously none of us can do that at the moment because Rona's kicking about. I love it. There's something so beautiful about being in that environment, and the connection, I think, with the bands when they're in that stage is just so much more, I don't know, I can't really explain it. It's just different, it's better, I just prefer it. However, on the subject of music, I cannot play instrument, as I've just stated about 10 trillion times. I do vocals though. I was actually learning at the start of 2020 to sing. I was having singing lessons, I'm just trying to think how you would describe my singing voice. I suppose it's kind of on the, kind of like Lana Del Rey, maybe like a mixture of like Lana Del Rey and like Robin. So it's very, very gentle. However, and I'm not singing. No. The confidence is gone of you since I haven't had singing lessons for a year. But I have actually co-wrote and done screaming vocals on another track. You can find that on YouTube. If you search up the band Enemoj, that's ENEMOJ, and then if you type in Silent Killer, that's the song. So I co-wrote that song and I guesties on it, doing scream vocals.
What I could do is find a music video for Silent Killer and I can put it in the description if you want.
Yeah, all that. There you go, there's another fact. I'm edgy as fuck. I vape. I'm as edgy as a Circle fan. Another little fact. I played at the O2 Academy 3. Is it O2 Academy 3?
Yes.
In Birmingham, in front of a packed out gig, doing scream vocals with the same band but for a different song. And I actually got into the crowd a little bit. I'm sure my editor can somehow search for the video that was taken and kind of maybe knock it up into here. Also, I am repping my boys Overthrown. They are a smaller band. I love them. They were actually my #1 song on Spotify last year. Like, I played them that much. Please check them out. They are ace. They are a heavy band, so if you're into that vibe, then cool. I will state as well, my music taste is very varied. Everything from like 90s like trance, dance, garage, grime, all the way through to like I don't know, like punk, ska, pop punk, metal, thrash metal, death metal, hardcore, all that kind of good stuff. Not fucking dad rock, man. I'm gonna offend some people here. Keep fucking Iron Maiden and Megadeth away from me. Also, I suppose I might as well throw myself under the bus with this as well, with being controversial. I don't like Killswitch Engage. I can hear the like pitchforks and fire now. Yeah, I don't like Killswitch Engage. Get over it, fam. My music taste is pretty varied. I don't sort of like to, although I wear a lot of band merch, I don't kind of categorize myself into just being like, because I have the aesthetic of being a 30-year-old emo. My music taste is actually very varied. I love to go clubbing when we're allowed. I like to go to nights out that play different music, and yeah, so I like to have a good time. It's always a challenge for people to try and keep up drinking with me. So that's music, doing a scream into a mic, astrology. I have travelled to quite a few places in Europe. Never been to America or anything like that, but I have been to 3 different places in Poland. I've been to Rome, I've been to 2 different places in Spain, 2 different places in Holland, the Canary Islands, and did I say France? 2 different places in France. So yeah, so I've done a little bit of travelling. However, the goal is to eventually do more. That's it. it will be a video coming up, but I don't want to be a mother. Controversial statement to make, yeah, because I've got travelling to do and goals to hit and content to make for you guys. Growing up, wasn't a big TV watcher, whereas like people would be watching a lot of TV. I really didn't. I only had like a select few things maybe that I liked. I only got into Skins last year. I was way behind, and my partner was like, "You never watched Skins?" I was like, "No." Absolutely loved it, smashed out pretty much all the seasons. I thought it was great. But yeah, so I wasn't a big TV watcher growing up. However, I did like playing video games. My favourite video game of all time is Tomb Raider. Lara Croft is my hero. I actually had like a full-length poster of her. I think she was in like a black dress, going back into the 90s there. I'm also a huge, I say I didn't watch a lot of TV growing up, but I suppose as a small child, obviously, yes, but I am a big Disney fan. Snow White is my favourite Disney princess. I think she is badass and is quite under the radar for a lot of people. I think some people try and be like edgy with their choice of Disney princess, but I think any woman that can deal with 7 men is a fucking trooper. So yeah, Snow White is the babe. Food, I like all food, but I am predominantly vegan. The cursed cheese got me again, but I am predominantly vegan. And I turned vegetarian, for instance, it'll be 5 years in June. So there is that, but I don't like dairy in certain things. Don't eat a lot of eggs anyway, like very rarely. So yeah, there is that. I like all types of food. I've never been a fussy eater. Thank the Lord. I especially like Japanese food. It's great. Italian food. Talking of Italian, I am part Italian. There we go. So there's that. I do have part of my Italian family lives in America, although I've never been to America, but there you go. I do like Marmite. In fact, I love Marmite. And if you don't like Marmite, stay in your lane. I love crisps. Crisps are my Achilles heel. I would rather have crisps over chocolate, cake, ice cream, all that. I am more of a savoury person. Just as a boring fact, there you go. But I hate Turkish Delight and anything with jelly in. Oh God, mate, it's gross. Gross. No. Also, I'm not a huge fan of currants and raisins. Oh, the story.
Partial to it.
He knows exactly what I'm referring to. Although my aesthetic is very emo, as I've stated, red, purple and like greens, teal are like my favourite colours. When I did have hair, I did have different coloured hair as well, so that was fun. But yeah, no, I love like teals and blues as well, especially like turquoise. It's my favourite. I'm not a big jewellery wearer. Just as that is like really random. That's just popped straight into my head. So it's just kind of whatever's kind of up here is kind of blurting out now. I'm not a big jewellery wearer. Obviously, yeah, I do have my ears stretched, and I have both my traguses pierced. And although in my outro card you can see that I had a septum piercing, I took that out. On piercings, I suppose, I think I've had about 15, between like 18 to 15, yeah, 15 to 18 piercings. I did have my Medusa pierced, which I now am left with a beautiful scar. Never had snake bites, despite the fact that I was a bit of an emo, and never had snake bites, never had spider bites, never had a lip ring. I had both sides of my nose pierced, both sides of my belly buttons, and my nipples. and a few other places. As I said in my introduction video, I am tattooed. If I counted all my tattoos individually and not like as a whole like sleeve, then I think I've got like 52 all in all. So I will do like a tattoo tour so you guys can actually see all the tattoos, but I have the back of my neck tattooed, behind my ear tattooed, I've got from shoulder to shoulder tattooed with my life motto. I've got a lower back piece, aka my tramp stamp. Both the tops of my arms tattooed, inside of my arm here, and then I've got obviously here my elbow like all the way down, and then I've just got from there down, and then my hands and my fingers, and then I've got across my stomach, my thighs, the side of my thigh, and then from the knee down I've got both my calves, and then down my legs tattooed too. So yeah, I think that, oh, and obviously both sides of my head. And I plan on getting more. I plan to be pretty covered, but traditional style and script is my favourite. I don't have any realism really. No, I don't have any realism tattooed on me. I'm just trying to think. My favourite flower is roses. Love roses, they are my favourite. My favourite scent is like lavender or sauvage. Sausage, which is what my partner wears. But yeah, I like stuff that smells good, you know, don't just, you know when you see somebody and you're like, oh, I bet you smell nice. Yeah, I love, love anything that smells lovely, so scented candles and all that stuff. God, this is taking a weird turn. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger. So if you want another video where I can go into depth about more things about myself, maybe talk in depth about maybe a couple more things, we could do that. We could do that. Let me know. Let me know if that's what you would like to see, because I've definitely got more there. So let me know what your star signs are. Let me know what, I don't know, your favourite food is, and your favourite band. There you go, there's some questions for you. Okie pokey, well, I am going to go, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Follow me on Sammy Signs and Speaks. I think that will be it for today. Also, before I forget, shout out of the week. Her name is Hannah. She owns Scorpio Jewelry. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. She hand makes jewelry, either old or new, and she is just one of the most loveliest, humble, beautiful, like stunningly beautiful people that I know, and she thoroughly deserves a shout out because she is so supportive of me and this channel and what I'm doing on my platform. So if you want to know more about Hannah and her little company, then go and find Scorpio Jewelry, and yeah, see you soon.